let's where's the marker? There we go. Yeah, alright, let's see how this goes.
Oh, that is not a start I want.
Well, you'll get an extra card out of it because I don't have anything, so
Okay, take it.
Ironic that I've actually added like one basic Pokemon in here compared to the previous version of this too. So kind of funny how we just don't hit it, but that's all right. Let's go for heads. Nope. Okay. Ah, yeah, I can see why you wouldn't want that.
Attach Psychic Energy and...
Yep.
No. Level Ball. Level Ball.
Okay. Yep. Zapede.
Retreat.
Yep.
And pass.
Okay. We will draw. Well, it's not the prettiest of hands, that's for sure, but we will bench our 3, one of everything basically. We'll attach a fire and we will singe to auto burn on this very cute looking Vulpix over here. Nah, you gotta flip for it. See if you actually.
I did flip.
Did you?
Yeah, the flip tails.
All right. I thought I was just hearing the counter being moved. So okay, my bad.
Skyla.
Yep.
Oh, that's not in there. That's slightly frustrating.
Missed something on that initial search, huh?
The search is accurate.
No, but I mean from your level ball searching and stuff. That's what I mean.
No. Well, I knew I was looking for it, just missed that one item. This isn't an ideal situation, but at least I'll force you to have the Evo.
Sure. So, Hypnotoxic Laser, our new thing here, poisons automatically, and then if you flip heads, it puts me to sleep as well. Which it does. Yeah, very sleepy Vulpix. And the Verbank Silly Gym, whilst in play, puts 2 more damage counters on poison Pokemon in between turns. So, yeah.
Guess we'll pass it then.
Okay, do you want to flip for burn first, or should I flip for thingy?
I'll
I guess
flip
it
for
doesn't
burn.
matter that much, but... Right, no damage there then, and no wake up, so fair enough.
1 in 4.
Yeah, but it's okay, because I do, if it'll let me actually do it, I do have Ninetales anyway, so there is at least that. It's not amazing, to be honest, if I just go for the active, though, so I think I will have to go for the Celebi here with Bright Look to capture it in, because I do have a laser in hand as well. Just the flip doesn't matter, but I will... Just for prosperity, so I guess we're hitting for 240 then. Yeah, because we have my favourite attack coming back here as well, isn't it? Hex Flame for 20, does 50 more for the special conditions that's on the defending Pokemon. This does not have burn on it anymore.
Mewtwo, DCE, Skyla, Switch.
Yeah, makes sense. So that goes in.
Kill the...
Yeah, X-Ball for 60 is enough. Right, we will draw. Now things get a little weird. Man, I do not like the spot to have to be in with that, but it's okay. We will Super Rod. We'll just put our 3 back in here. I suppose I probably should just go for what's in front of us here. I'll Ninetales, but I won't Bright Look this time because it is optional. And yeah, I'm gonna have to just end here, which is not great, but I mean, it's better to, after getting end into a brick, it's better than having nothing, I suppose. Yeah, definitely a bit better than having nothing. So we have that and that in there. Yeah, let's force the issue then, I suppose. We will Ammonguss. When we evolve into this, it confuses and poisons. We will use our Zero Retreat Ammonguss to go out. We have a Blend Energy to put on Ninetales here, and we'll Hex Flame for 120, 150 after the poison.
I don't think I can do anything this game. I've just gotten very unlucky here.
Okay, Willy Boy goes down. Okay. I had a level ball. I probably could have played, but I was like, yeah, I probably should try and get Vulpix in, but I don't know.
Actually, no, I can't even do anything if I do that. Ah, that's annoying.
Okay, fair enough.
Guess gotta go for it. Bring in the Fungus.
Sure.
Let's go for it.
Alright.
Yeah,
well, you were getting KO'd. Yeah, you were getting KO'd anyway, I guess, but yeah, I would have drawn in.
Horrible.
Would have drawn into Chorus, and I had well, gotten out of the prizes, and I had the I had double level ball thing there. I could have gotten basically everything I'd have wanted. Prize being to be Ninetales wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, I just needed to find the switch, I guess, at that point, but that's fine. Or Devo Spray plus Energy, right? Which Chorus for like 7 or something there, I think it would have been, is pretty solid. So yeah, you end me out of a really good opening hand, I'll say that much, because I had Juniper and everything in there. I was just like, this is going to be fine, I'll get myself going, and then you end me into a freaking dead hand, and I was like, well, damn it, you know? Bit annoying, but
starting Celebi is incredibly unfortunate.
it is pretty unfortunate, that is for sure, and obviously we can take advantage of that with a fire attack, but that's not a normal attack to come across against a lot of decks, I suppose. So, do you want to show your see what Pepper's going on with then, or show it that way? Oh yeah, I guess I can't change to it myself, can I? So, always forget about that.
Heads or tails?
So this is something that doesn't always come up, but yeah, basically, if you have this in your opening hand and you can, you get to play this and just go first, guaranteed. Unless the opponent also plays it, at which point you do flip still.
Attach a fire to Victini. Juniper. Discard end fighting retrieval Victini.
Makes sense.
I like, because there was. How did it not group up? There was a first ticket in there, right?
I don't understand this game sometimes.
Sam.
See, playlist is in a very Bug Fables mood today, but that's fine by me.
Ultra Ball, discard Bianca, switch. Terrakion.
Yep.
EX. And I'm going to do my Turbo Energize.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Search your deck for 2 basic energy cards. Attach them to your bench in any way that you like.
Skyla.
It is, as they say, much spooks. Very scary setup.
Catcher. Laser. Big. DCE.
No sleep because it was Tails.
No.
Alright, I have.
And we will X-Ball.
So total damage of 110 here. Because the Verbank laser adds an extra bit to it, so yeah. That is, as we say, exceptionally spooks.
Bench Terrakion.
Weighing up the options. Which one am I going to get hit by?
Touch Prism to active. Yank for 4. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep trying going. Terrakion-EX.
Yep.
Up smash. Attach 2 find to Terrakion-EX.
Juniper. Actually, no, should I attach to this?
Depends if you want it on something you might get off of said Juniper, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I have to.
Yeah, it sucks getting rid of free energy like that, but
It's not a position I want to be in without a. Yeah, because I'm gonna need down.
Yep.
And we'll take the KO.
Yeah.
yeah, because you can't just leave it to poison, unfortunately, so there's no, like, switching away from it.
Okay. Well. That's formidable. Victory piece. Attach fire active. Juniper discarding Ultra Ball. Oh, you've already. Alright, so
Yeah.
confused for a second there. Just thinking what I want to.
Sai does things like several steps ahead here, so...
I mean, it's a kill.
That's fair. And it's not like a catcher on a Venipede is the most sensible play, I guess, but...
Pump up smash, putting a fire, and they firing on the Terrakion.
So prizes get taken.
Hypnotoxic Laser.
Okay,
Do you
that
get
one
sleep?
is
That's
that one
important.
is good, yeah.
Level Ball. get another Whirly Boy.
Yep. Burly Whirly's gone on the bench as well, which is pretty good.
I really hate doing this, but
Chorus for free is not going to get you anywhere in this situation, unfortunately.
and we will Venoshock for the 70.
Yep, which goes up to 100 and then sleep. Ooh.
Full.
Interesting at the very least.
Skylar?
Makes sense.
You can see why I like the idea of this deck at the very least, the Victini stuff here.
Which? I'm in here, I'm also in two. Energy search. A fighting. And Ultra Ball discarding Victini and first ticket. Go Terrakion.
Alright, let's clean up the board a little bit here.
Yeah. Okay.
That's gone. Your switch is about to get used, I'm assuming.
Yes,
So
switch, retreat, retreat. Switch its poison.
okay.
Catch Prism onto Terrakion. This Terrakion. And pump up smash take KO. Putting one fighting energy on the Terrakion-EX on the bench.
Alright, not the way I'd have done it, but an interesting change nonetheless. I don't hate that. Just that's not how I would have taken the turn. So
I was
it's nice
thinking
seeing
about
it.
another line, but I
Ultra
didn't know how I
Ball
was going to get
discarding-
going again afterwards.
Verbank Super Rod. Let's see.
And now I'm putting this at risk. I think I have a better chance of playing out of that risk with this board than the board that hitting the other lining would have got on me.
Let's see, what should I capture? Capture in the Victini. Laser it.
Okay. And this just kind of validates one.
Chorus. If I don't hit one, I'm screwed. I got it. And we will Venoshock for 100. That's
Victini's got 110.
yeah. 110. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, no, I'm probably
You're
not
off by
by
10. You're off by...
That's fine. You have to get it out. If you hit this thing, you poison it, so I'm not in the worst position right now.
Alright, so yeah, looking at the HP count of it there and thinking what you thought it had, yeah, I can see why you made that play now, but...
I thought it was 100.
Yeah.
Still has to get it
I'm
out.
not
And
play
that's...
Trick Off, and that's choose until after I flip, so Super Scoop. Okay, so we got the flip heads. Actually, the numbers not quite fine, actually. 150 is annoying here.
I had to go for it.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about my. Yeah, we'll pick up the Victini. This. Victini goes back down. It'll be helpful if Mewtwo shows up. So here's what makes things interesting on my end. Second scoop up. Okay, I'm just that guy. I'm just...
Yeah, you are.
This one goes up. Gets an attach. Bench this. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Bianca for free. Yeah, it's better playing into the game plan. Catch you in the Celebi.
No.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's you.
I don't know if I agree with that, Bianca, but that's just me.
I'm not sure about this Bianca for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with that. You did not need anything that turn, to be honest. That's the I would have saved it in case I got end next turn type Bianca. You know, I want more ways of keeping myself in the game, but I mean, again, that's probably just me. I don't know.
But yeah, still not sure about these first tickets. I think Switch is well, Switch versus Rope is weird in this deck. I'm not sure which is better. I'm not. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about the Sugu pups after that game. They were dirty. They were.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of the Super Scoop Up is decent in there for sure.
I might try and find room for one more real energy, but that might just be because I had a very aggressive turn one Juniper discarding a few and the retrieval, so. Yeah.
And you are skimping so much in this deck for that first stuff here. Considering the standard energy bill for this is like 16, this is a humongous skimp in this deck.
Yeah, the tickets probably go then. Like, first thing goes got to be the tickets, certainly.
I mean, it's fine. It worked out, right? But you know.
Yeah, like, I'm unsure about this. Like, it certainly worked that game, but it didn't feel like it was essential. Like, what if I went second there? What happens? I take 40 from Mewtwo. So the Victini dies mid-game, and not much changes, honestly. Not does it?
No, I think the real thing was that the Terrakion should have died instead of the Victini getting hit. Would have been, I think, of it. But again, knowing
as soon as I saw it catch me, okay, that didn't matter. I'm feeling a lot better now.
Yeah, it's like now knowing why it was done, it's like, yeah, you thought it had 100 instead of 110. That makes sense. Double checking things, I suppose, is the only thing to say there. But
yeah.
Alright, you want a freebie? Because I'll give you a freebie.
I have 2 more jank decks this week, so
I mean, it's not. It's like the one I would quote unquote want to play would be probably pretty fine into that actually, but that's not the fun part. So
yeah, this is a I'm not sure if this is any good or not, and I probably built it badly, but it's a funny idea and it's probably and it's not going to work next week, so. Or rather, it's totally
alright,
next week.
you ready to be supremely confused by this mulligan?
Somebody's playing with Aoife! I'm an electric deck! Okay, I'll take my draw.
We will try again. I mean, you are correct about that.
Okay. Ray Aoife?
You get your thing. I told you I was giving you a freebie, right? Okay, there we go. Right. We will do that. What would you like?
Heads.
Nope. Alright, and we should beat that thing quite easily at least. Ooh, that makes things very interesting actually. Ooh, curious. Okay, well I guess I'm gonna Skylar then. See what we could do from there. Wow, that is a very weird set of prizes for this deck. Okay, I know 2 at the very least. 3, 4? Yeah, because I don't have that in hand, so yeah, it's 4. And then from there, who fucking knows, because there's too many of them. We will simply just grab Juniper. Because we have Pokédex. That was going to be my grab, but then we got it out. Oh, holy fuck, I love this deck.
I get that. I'm going to be very sad.
I fucking love this deck, oh my god. Do I even need to rearrange these? That's the thing here. I don't even know. I guess I probably should.
There's
yeah,
no
we'll
way
do
I can
that.
talk to you, is there?
Lightning Attach, Celestial Roar. Good luck.
I'm in danger!
Good luck.
Please, Heads Hammer! I need this Terrakion!
Okay, yeah,
Fire is
away it
gone.
goes. That's fine.
And judging by your complete lack of sadness, you have the one in hand.
No, what are you talking about?
Because this hand is really sad.
I mean, to be fair, unless you get a second hammer anyway, I don't think I'm really that worried, right? Because, you know.
30, 'cause
Yep.
hand.
You're gonna do it with that one. Okay. Alright, we will draw. I got moved to black.
Oh, sorry.
I think you were moving yourself, to be honest. But
Yep.
that's
I'll
alright.
try and pretend it isn't.
No, it's alright. I didn't. Because it defaults to moving me to the center anyway, so I didn't really get a chance to see anything otherwise. It's just this lot.
Well, the
Yeah.
bonus all yours.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? But it's fine because it doesn't really matter anyway. You know I have that, so there's obviously that going for us. I guess I will Juniper this because honestly I could do with getting another dude down, right, if possible. Yeah, seems alright. We will Ultra Ball. How many lightning am I already getting rid of here? Because that's probably gonna be the go. 2 of each. So it's 5. Yeah, we can We can do that. We'll pitch lightning and if I get end, I probably want that in the deck. Yeah, we'll pitch a fire here. Grab ourselves out another EX. So that can get benched down, and then yeah, we will do our God Dragon Burst for 180. Take the KO.
Okay, we on for it.
Good. That's what we want to hear.
Ultra Ball. Discarding captured DCE.
Mm-hmm.
Get Lugia.
Ah, okay. Now I'm kind of glad I did go for a second mon just in case, right?
Colress Machine?
Yep. So the plasma guys have all got their, they've got a specific trainer that searches from the deck for a plasma energy, which Lugia kind of needs because otherwise it can't attack. Or it can, but it does nothing.
DCE on Lugia. Catcher in the secondary Quadza.
Sure.
And Bianca for 6.
Alright.
And that's why I needed that Ultra Ball to unbrick. And that's
Yeah, it seems reasonable.
Colress Machine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty good.
How likely are you to do something stupid with this board? Not very. Switch.
Okay, yep.
Bench Orlando, and I will do the 120.
Sure. So Plasma Gale does 120. You have to discard the plasma energy on Lugia, or the attack does nothing. And yeah, it's pretty spooky because it does take extra prizes and whatnot. So there is that. Dude, this deck just keeps looking better and better. I don't know what to tell you. This is very stupid right now, but okay. How do we play this one out? Because there's some very silly stuff to look at here. I think it starts with Skylar. Thing is, I don't even know exactly what I want to hit with this, to be fair. There are like probably 3 good targets I could hit off of this. I don't really know. I guess to force you to have another one, Sky Arrow is a pretty good hit here, though. To force you to do more, because I do have another Ray EX, so we will put the Sky Arrow down, because Ray's got his 1 retreat cost. We will Pokédex before I do too much more here, so I don't go too ham on it.
Maybe I shouldn't have done that attack, but kind of an awkward situation regardless. I knew that catch wasn't buying much time. At least this forces you to do something instead of just celestial roaring.
Okay. So I think we do that. Yeah, I mean, it could easily go south, but we're gonna go in here and we're gonna Celestial Roar anyway. Do that, discard the Baby Ray.
Okay. Ultra Ball, discard, Enhanced Hammer, N.
Yep.
Yeah, I should get a second Lugia out. And the last card, Jumper.
Nice. It's not bad.
Do a search, discarding Riftloon and Ultra Ball.
Okay. Man, you were really in on the hate of special energy this one.
I mean, you saw the Drifloon.
I saw the hammer as the first bit, yeah.
Okay, so fighting energy. Attach it to my Landorus.
Okay.
Switch.
Yep, makes sense.
Speaking of hammers, I should probably try and take away that electric.
Ugh, yep. Alright, well you hit the first
Fail.
one, so you shouldn't complain.
And I will put the 30 on the healthy ray.
Yeah, that makes sense. So do that.
Nature of
Do
my
that.
deck.
Alright, one to hit. Oh, that probably helps a bit, actually. Alright, I knew it was there because I've already fucking seen it. Doesn't matter, it's Pokédex. That's the whole point. I knew that was in top because I'd already fixed that, so... right, I do not give a shit about the rest of these because that's the only one that I need because it's Ether for the fire energy, capture up the Lugia, live the energy obviously, yep, and we will Skylar. Grab ourselves Gold Potion.
Oh.
Yep. So we'll heal that.
Oh, that is.
And we will we'll Dragon Burst, not Celestial Roar. That's the wrong attack. We'll Dragon Burst for the 180.
Okay.
I gotta be honest, I'm still not entirely sure how I'm winning from here. We're getting there, but like I'm doing everything I can to mess it up
Yeah,
for
I'm
you.
thinking the same thing. Like, what the fuck do I do now?
Oh, this deck is so fucking stupid. I love it.
Just check my one through. Random receiver.
Yep. Let me have a look where we're going for it.
Energy.
Was it switch the first one? Yeah.
Catcher. Another switch. And then
Okay.
spoilers. End happening.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. That's why I was thinning down. I wasn't gonna Skylar for a Juniper, because I was like, I need to accept that N is gonna happen this next turn and just go from there. Okay, I did shuffle this, I swear.
Plasma energy on the Lugia.
Yep.
Hammerhead, putting the second 30 on the healthy ray.
Right, so we just switch this round then. And yeah, we will draw. We will Charon. Usually Charon is better than Bianca in this deck because I usually don't have my hand this far down, so you know.
But N.
Yeah, but N. I usually don't take that many prizes before the game is over, I'll be honest. We will Super Rod.
I'm sure you can see what the idea of this deck's meant to be.
Yeah, soften up the stuff with Hammerhead so that your 120 actually sticks and you can get the free prize stuff with that.
I Having a Lugia catch a kill like that is sad.
I almost discarded that instead of like the other energy the previous turn, and I was like, no, I'm gonna need this. There's no reason to discard that right now. I guess I could have Skylared for one potentially, but alright, so we have 6 of each energy in the discard at the moment, which is kind of funky. So I think I'm going to put 2 fire and 1 lightning back in. Yep, shuffle ourselves up. We will attach a lightning and we will Celestial Roar. No Pokedex this time, but don't need it.
Just have the nuts, apparently.
Just have the nuts.
Yeah, that's probably the game right there, to be honest.
Probably. With any luck. Unless we have a multi-switch that doesn't exist and would be illegal anyway.
You have to hammer you, basically. That's what it has to be. Fighting on the Lugia. Random receiver.
Yep.
Enhanced hammer. Switch. Colorless machine. Switch.
Juniper. Yep.
Keep off things in though, so it's gonna be next N.
Yep.
Well, we hit a hammer.
Go for it.
Yeah, that is game.
You want to know a little secret? You drew me into 2 energy anyway of each type, so it didn't matter if that hammer hit or not. This
is actually quite an awkward matchup for me, honestly.
Yeah, I did not expect you to go in with this. But, yeah, Lando is probably the main thing that I want to see, because it's easy for
and
me
I'm
to
heavily
deal with.
invested in taking out special energy. You don't worry. It's because I'm over-prepared for the Cling Clang.
Yeah, I mean, Clink Clang wouldn't possibly be the other thing. But the thing is, the Clink Clang I build now doesn't even play any non-metal energies, so, you know. Right. This, I'm sorry, this shouldn't have worked as well as it did, but, I mean, there's good logic as to why it did. When you take a look at the composition here, there's a pretty good reason why it works as well as it did, but it's so stupid. Before I go into this, where did I put my Ninetales? No, that's your Scolipede. Where'd my Ninetales deck go? So I haven't sifted that out yet. I guess I could just bring it back out. Because that was the main one to show this time round, and we did. Wasn't the cleanest game, but, you know, it's still there, is what it is.
Yeah, it's this one.
Oh, did it get, like... Alright, okay, never mind. Yeah, I hadn't sorted it yet. That's the other bit, because I wasn't sure how many games I was going to play, but that's fine.
It's actually based off of a 6 prizes list for in 2 sets, and for that period it looked absolutely insane because you got better ways of doing Lugia then.
Yeah, of course.
So back here, well, it sounds like a decent idea.
Yeah, because, like, the goal is your Hammerhead is designed to do, you know, 2 lots of 30 to 1 EX and 30 to another EX, so that your 120 off of Plasma Gale is enough to score the win. When Lugia scores a KO by damage, it takes an extra prize, so you do get 3 prizes if you take out EXs. The problem is 120 is not enough to take out any relevant EX outside of, like, Victini, potentially, or the Rogue Mew, right? Because you're not going to come across Shaman until the end of the game very often, and, sorry, Celebi's not the most competitive out there, we already knew this, so you're not usually going to come across ones that you can just kill in one hit, so you got to soften them up first, and, yeah, that's what the Landorus is for. Apologies for the sirens and stuff. I've got my window open at the moment because it's too warm today.
Same. I just had the ice cream van come past, so I'm sure that got picked up.
Yeah, no, it's too warm today, so I wanted to shut it beforehand, but didn't get to it, whatever. Yeah, so I can see the idea, and it is pretty cool, not gonna lie.
My one problem is the energy really awkward.
Yeah.
I would really want more run more DCEs, but you saw me brick on energy that first turn there.
Yep.
So And I had discarded DC there. That's why I thought I was, because I just didn't think I'd be able to charge a loop in time. Because my second DC had to go away turn 1 to unbrick.
Yes. Yeah, and then the Drifblim, for those who don't know, it does 50 for 1 colorless, 50 for every special energy in the opponent's discard pile. So this will be much better next set when, like, at least some versions of Plasma really get hurt by this a lot. But even now, it's like, a lot of decks will play, like my Ninetales deck down here does play 4 blend. The DCE deck, DCE is in the deck from Psy this week, right, with the Scolipede stuff. So it's like, there are still some specials, and if you get 2 special energy in the discard, that still does 100 for 1, which is efficient.
After the series, kill Sigilif anyway, because both the X's.
Exactly.
And then 1 energy is enough.
Yeah, so it's like, you got some outside, and that's like, Enhanced Hammer is actually pretty solid here as well, because even if they don't discard any, if you can discard them from the opponent, then, you know, it does the same thing, so, yeah.
I put in some 4 normal hammers, because I had the space and wanted to be a bit more flexible and do other things.
Fair enough, yeah. So, for the serious deck, before I go into my absolute bullshit at the top there, we saw pretty much the way this is supposed to go for the most part. The Ninetales is absolutely ridiculous, to be honest. It just wasn't really easy to enable without laser. Like, the whole point is Ammonguss lets you auto-confuse and poison the opponent when you evolve into it. So very much the same thing as what the Magmortar did when I played the Leafeon deck. Ninetales does an extra 20 base damage, which actually does matter because of the way Verbank interacts with this deck. Right, that's one thing we couldn't have had with the Magmar, is Verbank adds extra damage counters to the poison which is inflicted instead of the burn from the Ammonguss. So you do 120 normally, then 30 extra from the poison. And if they don't move, or even if they do, you could probably catch or laser them later. I've done that several times. And you take them out. And if they don't move, you take them out going into your turn, so you get initiative, which is really good. Ninetales having Bright Look as well, the same thing as what Luxray did, you can just use it as a Gust as well. It's usually superfluous in this era because of Catcher, but it's a searchable Catcher for one, and it also just means I don't have to play quite as many actual Catcher, because I just have whatever access to whatever I want to kill at any given point, which is really neat. The fact of blend energy from this deck lets you play the Sableye as well. You can junk hunt back the lasers or the Devo Spray, which was something I did not have with Magmortar. I had to use like Seeker as a supporter and stuff like that to get it up, but now I can just Devo Spray the Ammonguss and then evolve again next turn, which is great. We do still play our own laser, just because you don't always get to rely on the Ammonguss. It can't, you know, if the opponent just kills the Fungusses, you're kind of screwed. So, you know, we can still laser for stuff as well. And Mew can copy it to one-shot Mewtwo, which is very funny. So, yeah, you can Hex Flame with Mew and kill Mewtwo's instead. And that's like half the metagame, so, you know, works out. Yeah, it's one of my favorite decks of the era for sure, and the fact that you can level ball search like everything relevant in this deck is absolutely insane. I don't have to play Ultra Ball, so I don't have to discard resources needlessly, and it just really helps to just keep everything rolling, and so good. And then there's the bullshit that is this. So, Quadza, as we always used to call it, was one of my favorite decks, like, just to play for fun. We always used to play this for like 3 games at the end of the stream. You are seeing this correctly. This is not a mistake. So, Celestial Roar is an attack that you usually only go for when you're desperate, because it's just like, oh man, I'm not going to hit any energy off of this, I'm just going to discard all the useful stuff, and it's like, I really can't do anything else, and I don't have a setup, I've just got to do the thing. But what if you could make Celestial Roar get like 2 to 3 energy every time you use it? That'd be busted, right? Enter this deck. So, we are currently playing 24. I've cycled between like 25 to even as high as 30 energy in this deck at one point. And, you know, I've needed to put more and more stuff in to try and have any game against other decks, so we've kind of cut back a little bit. 24 energy is fine. There's a bit of a slant to lightning because the Baby Ray, which I also went up to 2 of today, instead of just a 1 I normally play, this attacks for 1 lightning, so if you're going to attach anything, you would probably want lightning for turn 1, so there's a bit of a slant towards it there. I think it's like 13 and 11, so, you know. And the idea, of course, Pokédex, looking at the top 5 cards of your deck, you get to rearrange them as you want. That first Pokédex was just 5 energy, by the way. So, you know, I was like, oh dear God. And yeah, obviously Ether works very well with Pokédex because you just put the energy to the top of the deck, you Ether it to where you want it, you know, to onto your stuff. Ether is one of those that, unlike the Max Elixir later on, you actually get to attach it active as well, so it's even more threatening. And yeah, you charge up with Celestial Roar the first turn. If they don't kill you, then you immediately just Dragon Burst them for however much damage you needed in the next turn. And your goal is to just get that going every time. Your hammer did stop me attaching like 1 to the bench to make it a little bit sort of safer, so, you know, that can mess things up a little bit, but you basically always have the energy in this deck in terms of the hand stuff at the very least. It's just about getting the rest of it going.
It is basically
yeah, it's just about
I don't think I could win that match without perfect reward, really.
Not when I'm going first, especially. Yeah, the rest
Double
of...
potion as well is just...
Yep. So, obviously, you initially start with something like Computer Search in here, but I was finding that, like, blanking a Night Spear was really beneficial when I used to play this deck. So I was like, okay, we're going to put the Gold Potion in then, so we can just go, your Night Spear did nothing. We play the full heal, not the switch, because we're not guaranteed to have extra Pokemon. We do not play that many, we only have the most, like, rudimentary of supporter / like draw stuff here for it, so we really don't have a lot that can guarantee we're getting into another basic. And you often don't want to play switch, because what you want to do is attack with the active you've just Celestial Roared with the previous turn. However, laser is a piece of crap, and will stop you from doing that 1 time out of 4. So full heal actually just gets rid of that in the sleep condition. That's exactly what it's for. It's just like you get rid of the sleep so you can do your big hit. That's pretty much that. Obviously, we've gone through the Ether. Ultra Ball is standard. There's only 1. I only had space for 1. I had to reverse engineer this deck from my old videos because I didn't post or like show a deck list or anything. I think I had like Eviolite in here at one point. I don't know where the cut was from, but you know, it would have been nice, right? Eviolite would have helped out a fair bit in the matchup here.
I considered Eviolite and my list down here as well, but
yeah,
I just thought myself, this is just gonna get scrappered.
It's possible, yeah. And yeah, we needed to play catcher for obvious reasons, but again, space is quite tight because you really want to hit at least 2 energy off of every Celestial Roar, and even though you play a lot of Pokédex and stuff, you still only look at the top 5, so if you don't play enough energy, you're not gonna see... It's like the electric generator now, actually. We saw that before we started this, actually. Didn't win the top 8, but every single electric generator that Robert played in the 2 games that he was in, he hit 2 energy off of it. I don't know how, because he doesn't play 24 energy in his deck, but, you know, you need to play quite a lot so your top 5 at least lets you see some stuff.
Before the entire internet says he counts his shuffles.
Nah, because he's been... Apparently he was doing pretty poorly with them for most of the rest of the tournament, and he'll have plenty of opponents to back that up, because, you know, 15 rounds of Swiss between 2 days, blah, blah, blah. So... yeah.
Fair enough then, isn't it?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's the bare minimum stuff. You play Charon instead of Bianca in here because you can't guarantee that your hand is going to be empty, because you might just draw 6 energy and then draw a Bianca and you're like, well, fuck, what do I do now? Right? You don't play Chorus because your bench is usually not high enough to make Chorus relevant whatsoever.
I'm just Chorus in my deck, so I just not play enough stuff.
And I didn't particularly want to play N in here because, like, yeah, shuffling a bunch of energy back into the deck would be great, but most of the time if there's like 3 or 4 energy in my hand, I don't really want to shuffle those back in, because then I'm just going to draw them straight back, and if my game plan is working, I'm not going to draw that many cards off of the N, which just means I'm going to draw only energy and nothing else, right? So the only option left is Charon. And it actually does work in here, as much as DNA was like, what the actual hell is going on? Yeah, it's the stupidest deck I have ever built, I think, but it is so much fun when it pops off, and it's just like, you get giddy every time you see it. It's just like, oh no, how on earth am I going to deal with a 4 energy ray on turn 1 going second? Yeah, it's so stupid. Of course, Baby Ray is in here because I kept going across too many Sigilith, you know?
Yeah, you gotta have some answer to that thing.
Yeah. I think, again, my very first video build of this played 4 of each, and that was too many Baby Ray. I did cut it down to 1 eventually, but I figured today I was like, nah, I probably should have the second one in here. This was the 25th energy. But I was like, nah, I really should have another one in here because it's just fine enough as an attacker early in, and it makes sense in the one prize matchups a fair bit more, you know, dealing with stuff that's got too much HP for, you know, Dragon Burst to do. And it's also just neat, if you just ether to it, you can get it going pretty quickly, right? So it's not bad. Yeah. You were asking how to use ether. This is my answer. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done.
There's a way to use ether.
This is the dumbest thing I have ever done with this stuff here, but it's so much fun when it actually goes off. Sai would have killed this horrendously though, because one prize match, especially one prizes that can survive like discarding 2 energy, is really bad to deal with. The best I could have done would have been shred against the Whirlipedes and just hope that I could get enough, but then 1 energy kill on the clapback, right? It's really bad. So, you know, it's not supposed to be a competitive deck. It's not supposed to even be good against most other jank decks, to be honest. But when you hit that right thing, where it's just like a Lando or a Darkrai in your opening first bid, and you can get off before they do, oh boy, do you get to go off.
Yeah, like, I don't think you could have asked for a better matchup than me there, than my deck there.
No, and that wasn't the intention either. I was intended on giving
it was a blind matchup. We didn't
yeah,
know.
I was giving you the freebie of going into your Victini Terrakion, basically. But because I figured,
I heard freebie fall. Oh, great! I'll bring out my jank. I'll bring.
I mean, so I say that it's a freebie, but I do think there's... I mean, it depends who goes first, which obviously your first ticket really helps with. But I think there is some game against the Victini stuff here, because I killed Victini with 2 energy discarded. So I think there is actually just a little bit of potential game against that deck. But clearly it's not great, and really Goal Potion is the only reason I could even say that with a straight face. Because again, blanking one of your pump-up smashes is actually really solid. So...
Yeah, and I do need to keep the momentum up, which is probably where the energy count is a bit low based on my first game with it.
Yeah, and it's like, this deck is really good at draining that momentum too. If I get that Dragon Burst on your charged up guy, like, yeah, you should have another one, hopefully, but... that depends if you get it off fast enough, and if you actually had the energy in hand in the first place. Playing only 11 basic energy.
Yeah, the tickets are probably just wrong. That's probably just what it is. There should be 2 energy and, or maybe 3 energy, and it's just some extra things.
I'll show you what I ended up coming up with, because I do have it here as well. Just my my rendition of this I was playing earlier on this afternoon. Actually worked out really well too. It's not too dissimilar, but yeah.
I did actually make it a bit of jank.
Oh, I have the Clone Clang too, but I'm not really fussed about that right now. Yeah, so my thing is I went in with the lasers instead, because I was like, 90 is fine, but if you can pressure with the lasers and stuff as well, that ends up helping out quite a bit in the right sort of spots. And I was just like,
my thought was laser just gonna make. I'm still 2-hit KOing even with laser. I didn't want to invest too much space into that.
I can see that, but there are times where it's like you really don't need to be hitting with pump-up smash necessarily every time, right? You might end up just diversifying just a little bit, because what I was finding is that I was often ended up like attaching 1 energy to 2 separate guys, right? And just like getting them set up because there just wasn't enough pressure on the early game to like threaten it. So it's just like, if I just set these guys up immediately, then what are they gonna do, right? You can't catch her like the free one and you know, just go from there, because there isn't a free one. And I just have enough energy that I can just attach the extra one that I need at that point and just keep going, you know. But again, slightly different idea with it. I didn't play the scoops, which I mean they're certainly interesting with Terrakion-EX. That's that is one nice bit with it. But yeah, I didn't end up playing those. Maybe just too lucky for my blood in this deck. But yeah, I don't know. It was like Colress is probably like a sketch one as well, but I don't know. Usually feels alright.
The other jank deck for the anime.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up an Articuno, and that is that. Yeah, the auto paralysis, the move this stuff around. Yeah, can definitely see that.
I tried to mess around with the early plasma stuff before the main engine came in, just to see what it could do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the stadiums. I know I got Skyros to bump Verbank and help my starts a bit. But with my slow starts anyway, I had it also brought in a beach.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the situation, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm just not sure what to do with that stadium lineup. The rest is pretty simple, really.
Yeah. 3-1-2.
Maybe I want to bulk the line a bit, but
it's probably a little vulnerable, isn't it? Because if you see this sort of thing, I wonder if like the main strat would just be to like target the Dust Noir as much as possible and prevent this from going up in the first place if possible.
Yeah, it's just finding a way to not end up choking on Duskull's early game.
Yeah. This kind of deck is really preying on just hoping the opponent isn't playing switch cards. Is the thing. It's why the Gothitelle Excelgor thing ended up effectively taking this had taken this idea for a few sets now, and was just like, yeah, that's the quote-unquote better version of it because it blanks the switching cards.
This week, because next week Floatstone and Keldeo come in, everyone's gonna be scared of the Excelgor deck, and it just isn't gonna get able to breathe.
I mean, it's something that has always been around. I've deliberately not touched it because I just don't find the deck especially fun to play in the first place, so I just haven't touched it because I've been wanting to do other stuff. But it has been around. Just want to note that for people watching at this point. It certainly was playable even before now. You probably wanted Darkrai and like a Darkness Energy to actually retreat, but for sure it's been playable since Dark Explorers and pretty much came out. Just yeah, we really haven't wanted to touch it. Next,
I always thought it'd be one of those cases, it'd be like the Fire Plume stuff. Like we play it once when it's at its best, then we shove it in the vault, lock the door 3 times, and get it existing.
Yeah, it's understandable. I do have a list for it for the next format, because something for people who don't necessarily know, I've had decks built for 2013 format for a very long time, because Sai and I did a mock draft of this back when the boxes were relatively new, like the packs and stuff, so we actually did a full format draft. Still have somewhere my Darkrai Hydreigon deck I was able to build out of that, which is kind of fun. But yeah, I have had like constructed decks built for the upcoming format for quite a while. A lot of it we've seen some of the fun stuff already, like the Ninetales stuff was actually only about 2 cards different from the list I built for next set, so it's kind of cool because it didn't use the cards for the next one, so you know, that was neat. But like we've seen Ray Eels before, but I have that available. Stuff like the Blastoise, it'll be Black Kieran this time, but like Blastoise stuff is there. My final take on Zoroark, not that I'm gonna play that unfortunately, because you know, Hammerhead is a thing, but yeah, it's stuff like that's around, but also the things we haven't yet seen. So I can bring up just a folder here. So like Fluffy Chomp, which I looked at this earlier, it's playing Life Dew, and I can't for the life of me work out why, instead of like Comp Search a Thousand Machine, but too. Sure.
That was a definite Comp Search deck.
Yeah. But yeah, there's like a couple of different plasma stuff here. There's the Ho-Oh deck, which is now having Scramble Switch in it, which is fantastic. the deck I am most looking forward to is the Weavile, because that deck is hilariously cool. And yeah, there's just a bunch of neat, you know, from the top staple stuff like your Darkrai, the Lando Garb, TDK, Blastoise is in here, and then, you know, my pet decks, if you will, as well. We've been seeing a lot of those as I've gone through, just because, of course, we would. This is my favorite overall format to play at the moment, because it's when I started, right? You've got bias to the first format you come into, right? So, this is the year I started playing, and I have a lot of good memories playing in this era, and I don't know, I think it's been neat to revisit it at the very least, and see how it goes for the remainder of it, and see if it's still as fun when we have TDK running around. But I think it will be. I just wish we could have Leo involved in this next one, because he was always looking forward to the plasma stuff, but it just won't happen. I don't think. We've not heard from him in absolutely forever.
School at this point.
Yeah,
I
so
believe he's doing med school.
he is.
Exam
So
season, pretty much. So.
So, like, obviously still super Gratstone and everything that way. It's just, it's a shame, because I know he was looking forward to this one, but hey, he could always just play it with Matt and stuff as well if he wants, couldn't he? So,
The mod's not going anywhere. He
Nah.
can do whatever, whenever.
Yep, they're on TTS a lot anyway, playing other games, so they clearly still have lots of time that in US format that they can do fun stuff with. So. Yeah, sorry to subject you to the memes on this one, but I had to. This is just, it was never gonna be like remotely playable beyond this. I don't think, even though I did play it in, like, you know, next format and stuff as well. It was never gonna be as potentially usable as this. So yeah, and then yeah, since we're at the end of this, to show size stuff off here, the idea is pretty similar to the Ninetales thing, but with a little bit more bulk in terms of the Scolipede, and maybe a little bit less damage, but more efficiency, I think, within this one, because you don't have to have 2 evolution lines for it, and, you know, you just need the laser, which is not that hard to get out most of the time anyway. And unlike mine, if you flip tails on laser, you still do the same amount of damage, so works out quite well. And yeah, it evolves into... Yeah, Celebi is the only, like, flaw here, because the goal is not to necessarily stick to the Whirlipede every time, because the Scolipede's got poison points, so it makes it a lot more awkward to hit into. And if you can reuse Whirlipede's Venoshock, that's 1 energy instead of 4, it's a lot more efficient. And Scolipede is a big boy, 150 HP is on the upper end, not the highest, but...
Benefit is also poisons every time it gets touched.
Yes, so, and that's going into your turn, so like you attack this, you poison the opponent, they can't switch at that point, right? So you do get to just hit them with the Venoshock next turn. You can build up for the big energy Venoshock, and that can get pretty scary in its own right, because, you know, that's hitting quite relevant numbers, same sort of thing as my Ninetales is. But the real goal here is the efficiency of the Whirlipede. And you honestly just can't, like... It punishes hammerheads and stuff quite well and all, because the Venipede, right? Like, it also has poison points, so if you just blindly go in as you normally would in any other matchup, you're gonna get smacked by a pretty decent Venoshock next turn. So, like, the Venipede itself having poison point is also really cool. I just wish the Whirlipede did too, but unfortunately that Whirlipede is not very good, so...
If it also had poison point in that attack, it would be kind of busted.
Yeah, it'd be really good for sure. We probably would have explored it before now if it did, right? Even just as the Whirlipede dot deck rather than Scolipede. But that's fine.
You're still getting 2-shot numbers at that point, aren't you? So
Yep.
Doing 80 without Verbank.
Yeah. And Verbank makes so much difference here as well, because that turns that 1 energy 80 into 1 energy 100 instead. More if they stay in, so it's forcing answers basically every turn, unless you go against.
Also, is very good against Garbodor with that second attack, because you can hit it for 80, and if it's poison, that's 110 damage that doesn't activate Rescue Scarf.
Yeah, that's something you noticed just before we started too. It's like, yeah, Steamroller is expensive, but it doesn't kill in 1 hit for the Garbodor. So if it's poisoned and the poison kills it instead, it turns off like all of the relevant interactions in that deck. So no Retaliate as well for 90 damage to get the return KO. So that's pretty good. And then it's also just 1 energy away if you don't die in the exact next turn. It's 1 energy away from the big Venoshock, right? So you're almost there. So yeah, it's a neat deck, and I really do like the interaction stuff for it. I have seen this, I think, on Bad Debt Monday once before, but that's the same for like almost every jank you could reasonably come up with. So you know. There's a lot of material is what I'm trying to say, but I like it. You've obviously poison is the new thing because of Verbank, and this is one of those that kind of like my own build this round takes advantage of it more than better than just about any other deck, really, doesn't it? Like this really works on you're poisoning things for it rather than this is just plus power times 3, you know. Alright, well, I don't know exactly how many things we're doing in the next set, but oh boy have I got a lot of stuff to do in the next set, so I think we're definitely spending a fair bit more time than on this one. This really did feel, you said it yourself, Pepper, this felt like a transition set. I think we felt it at the time as well. It's like, this set is cool and all, and there's a couple of bits here, but it's just like, doesn't really work as well as what's already been established. And then, spoilers for the next set, right? And it's like, oh, all of this is going to get so much better if we just wait like 3 months. And, yeah, so we did. And next format has got a lot of really cool stuff in it. So, hopefully we get to show some... Yeah, let's bring it out. I will put the marker down for the YouTube stuff. Thank you for watching on there. And yeah, next time I'll be discussing